Now that you've got a bunch of loops, you are ready to start assembling the Plarn. So here's how this works. You take one loop and you hold it vertical. Then you take a second loop and you slip it inside horizontal. So you make a big capital T. And see how my hands are inside? I'm going to take one end of the top of the T and put it inside the other end. And then I'm going to pull. Make sure you pull tight enough that there isn't a big blob here. You want to pull nice and tight. So that way when you're crocheting, your hook doesn't get caught on anything. So we've got a nice little knot here. And this is our first strand of Plarn. We're going to do it again. This is going to be the vertical part of our T. We're going to take another piece, make it horizontal, take one end, stick it inside the other end, and pull nice and tight. Okay, a couple things to look out for when you are doing this. The first thing is if you don't pull nice and tight, and you don't want to pull so hard that you rip it, but if you don't pull nice and tight, you'll end up with blobs here, and you don't want blobs. So make sure that you pull on both ends. That's how you keep that from happening, is you pull on your new loop and your old loop. Another thing that happens is this. Notice that when I hold this up, see how there is no weirdness? I'll show you what I mean. If you are going too fast and you aren't careful, when you add a new piece of Plarn, sometimes this can happen. That's because your old loop isn't even when you add your new loop. So what you need to do to make sure that doesn't happen is when you're adding a new loop, see how this is uneven? If I tug on the old loop, I didn't leave myself enough room. But if you're tugging on the old loop, it'll create tension. So that makes sure that both sides of the loop are even. So then when you attach the new one, you don't end up with that nastiness. So make sure that you're not going so fast that your loops don't end up nice and pretty. So one through the other, pull on both sides. One through the other, pull on both sides. And see how once you get the hang of it, this process can go pretty darn quick until you get stuck like this. So again, be careful. You don't want to tear the bags, but you do want to pull those knots nice and tight. So it's important to find that balance.